introduce yourself. Tell us what you're about. Where are you from? How old are you? Name. What you do for work. Let's start with the easy stuff.
Introductions. It's so weird because I do them like quite a bit for like collaborations and stuff, and I can never do them. I get really nervous.
Just make it casual.
Who am I? It's like questioning everything about myself. So my name's Emma. I am from York originally, but I'm in Bristol now. I'm an English teacher, which is why my accent's a bit weird. It's a little bit kind of I really don't know what to call it. It's kind of like a neutralized Yorkshire. It's like a weird kind of accent.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I guess it's good. So long as people can understand me, that's the main thing. People are saying I'm still quiet, so yeah, turn that up.
I'll whack you up. There we go.
Oh,
bit louder now, guys.
Good. Now I'll be too loud. People will be like, my ear.
That's fine.
So yeah, I, as Dan said, I have a good YouTube channel, just good.
So it's okay.
It's all right.
I exaggerate.
It's doing all right. So yeah, I started doing YouTube and stuff under the name of Pronunciation with Emma. But if you're looking at my name above or anywhere, it will say Procrastination with Emma. So let me tell you a little story of how I got to that. So I started out teaching pronunciation, hence the name Pronunciation with Emma. Like there was a real lack of English materials for English learners regarding pronunciation, particularly British pronunciation. And I thought, you know what, I need to find something because, a lot of my students are struggling to understand me. If I say things like, car and there, they're like, what is car and there? Like they couldn't get it. I was like having to pronounce things in an American way, like car, there. And they're like, yeah, I've got it. I understand now. I thought I could pronounce things in an American accent because these guys can't understand me. This is ridiculous. So I decided to have a look on YouTube for some British pronunciation teachers, and I couldn't find any at all.
So there was a gap in the market, which was...
Yep.
Good.
Had my name written all over it, so I just, creeped my way in there and became Pronunciation with Emma. So I've been doing that for about 3 years, which feels like quite a long time, actually. But yeah, 3 years. And then only recently, probably about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, I started teaching English using video games. And that's where people get a bit confused because they're like, how does pronunciation relate to video games? Well, if people know me personally, not as like teacher Emma, but just as normal Emma, they will know that I play a lot of video games. And I always talked about it on like my social media and stuff. And
yeah.
I had quite a few followers saying, oh my God, Emma, you should teach with video games. It would be so good. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I should. But I didn't want to brand myself as Pronunciation with Emma on Twitch because I'm not teaching pronunciation here. I'm teaching just like, may I swear?
Yeah, of course. Don't worry.
All right, okay. Just double check.
Did you watch the last podcast with Bobby on here? I don't think he ended up donating, 250... No. What was it? 100 quid in the end? Something? He donated loads of money, to 150, I think it was. Red Cross, Lebanon Red Cross, because he had a swear jar. He was doing £5 every swear, so he did like 30 swears. So go ahead. We won't do the swear jar for you. That's fine.
No. I'll try and keep it clean just in case any of my followers are in here.
But that's how we met, wasn't it? Because you were seeking help with streaming and you didn't know how it was monetized. You didn't know how it was... About setting up, you were kind of really new, and you asked some groups in a Facebook chat, I believe it was. I thought, well, I'll just, at that time I was networking, and when people ask good questions, I feel more inclined to answer them. Yeah. And you asked a good question, I thought, you're going to get misled by all the idiots in these groups, and like 95% of all the people in those groups are idiots. I'm going to certainly say that. I've left off these kind of Facebook groups now because I read the comments and they just do my head in. But I thought I'm going to actually contact you and give you some proper advice because it's something that's needed. And that's how we started talking. And then you said, I do my YouTube. And then I saw your YouTube and you had like 70,000 subs at that time, I think.
80,000.
Yeah, you've got 80,000 now, which is crazy. And I was like, well, you know stuff about YouTube. I actually need some help with YouTube. So we kind of done I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and we just bonded over that. And I think, you know, we've got quite a good relationship with that now. So any stream questions you ask me, any kind of YouTube questions I ask you. So you're teaching, because I popped into your stream a couple of times now, and I think your first stream had something like 50 plus viewers. And that's because you've transpired from YouTube over, and a lot of your students actually came on to relax with you almost. I think it was the best thing to say, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
It was a good reception, wasn't it? But how did you feel with that? Like, how did it feel with the integration coming over?
It was... I don't know how to explain, because, you know, I used to do a lot of streaming on YouTube, but it was a lot more polished and very kind of teachery, let's say. So if anyone goes to my YouTube channel, Pronunciation with Emma, because I don't have a Procrastination with Emma channel, but if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see like it's very polished, it's very clean, very PC, you know, very PG, and like everything, you know, it's very like.
But that's YouTube, isn't it? That's a big difference between Twitch and YouTube. Twitch can be quite relaxed. Twitch is like your bar, whereas then you've got your workplace, which is YouTube, and it's kind of like you've got to be a bit more sensible on there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like we've had this chat before about how YouTube have started to demonetize swearing. They've started to penalize people for swearing, and it's really not good. You know, I'm trying to like educate people here. You know, I'm not just talking shit. Like, you know, a lot of the time, like I do on Twitch. Like I actually want to help people and educate people.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. I found it very limiting. So I couldn't really be myself. You know, if I wanted to say the word shit on stream, it's like, fuck, I'll be demonetized. You know, I couldn't do that. So I thought, you know, I really want to kind of be myself and speak freely. And I want to teach things like swearing, because you don't find that in English textbooks and stuff like that. And I see, you know, people are in the chat now and they're, you know, hi. And they will know, as English learners and some of them teachers as well, they will know that textbooks and YouTube teachers on YouTube and other platforms or whatever don't teach swearing, they don't teach slang, they don't teach all this kind of stuff.
I was going to say, because there's a lot of words that we use in English which can mean kind of slang and mean kind of derogatory things. For example, like, well, I think the well, I'm trying to think of words right now. You know when you put yourself on the spot and you can't think of anything? But you can call someone like a wrench or something, which means they're stupid or something like that. I think that was something we said in school. But you can call someone something and it means something completely different. Trying to think of anything like PC as well, because like when I was growing up, things are a little bit lenient. So you've got to be careful with your language nowadays, because it's going to offend everyone. But I completely agree with that. Like you don't see so much teaching slang, and if you hear something, they might misinterpret that as well, because you know, they could be called something that really doesn't make sense to them, and then they don't really know how to use it, and they'll use it in the wrong context or something, and it just gets confusing, especially if you're learning English as well. I mean, I'm just going to throw out there, English is one of the hardest languages to learn, right? Because it's so varying. As an English teacher, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, it's weird because it's one of the easiest, yet it's one of the hardest.
I'm kidding.
You know, it's easy to get the basics, you know, and anyone who's an English learner or English teacher will definitely agree with that. To get the basics of English, it's very, very easy. There's no verb conjugation, you know, it's like I do, you do, he, she, does, they do, we do. It's just do, except for, you know, he, she, it. So it's really easy, especially compared to like Spanish, where every single verb changes. It's just horrible.
Spanish. I actually enjoy Spanish as a language. But it is strange having female, male tenses for everything, and so it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. We have no genders. We only have one gendered adjective in English, and it's blonde.
Blonde.
As far as I'm aware, I think we only have one gendered adjective, and it's the word blonde, and that's it. And the rest of them are just like, you know, neutral.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some channel promotion for you there. I'm linking both your Twitch and your YouTube, just so everyone can go check it out.
Thank you.
Obviously, it might not be tailored. It might not be tailored to some people. If you're English, it's probably not going to be so much tailored to you.
Well, if you want to do some accent reduction, you know.
Yeah, I advise some of you should.
Yeah, or you know, if your grammar's a bit shit, then you could go and have a look. But it might be able to help out. But yeah, someone asked, I can't remember who it was. It was Mo. asking, so is this procrastination with Emma or pronunciation with Emma? Well, pronunciation with Emma doesn't swear. She's very, PG friendly. But procrastination with Emma, so over on Twitch and stuff like that, I do swear. I am more myself. I speak how I naturally would. Just without the Yorkshire accent. I think that's a bit too much, for some learners. They're like, whoa, are you even the same person? So yeah, that's kind of what I do, and that's how I got into gaming. Like I'd always been gaming. I'd been streaming on YouTube, so it's not like I had to buy any new kit or anything like that. I was already thinking of buying.
It was already there.
Yeah, I had everything. I had my microphone and.
You already knew how to do audio, you know how to set up your camera. It was just a fact of integrating over, putting it onto the live stream and then putting on a live stream face, which is a bit different to doing your YouTube face. I've gone through this. I think I said in my video that I just uploaded. I think I said in that I felt like I said something really offensive. I called people a YouTube robot. I didn't mean people on YouTube are robots. I meant to say that I sounded like a robot as a YouTuber. But I don't like sitting there talking. I don't like sitting there going, so guys, today it doesn't suit me. It feels really weird. I prefer doing this naturally and talking to everyone in chat, reacting.
I agree. Yeah, completely. It's so unnatural to be sitting in front of a camera. And anyone who has not sat in front of a camera and tried to record themselves for YouTube, or they've, gone live on YouTube or any other platform, whatever, they don't know what it's like, because it looks really easy. If you do it well, it looks easy. It's when you look shit is when people are like, oh, why are you so shit? It's really easy. But, they look shit because they just don't know how to do it. Yeah. It's only the people that look good, like us, I'm kidding. It's only the people that look good when they're doing lives and videos and stuff like that and look natural, that make it look easy. So when you do start doing YouTube and stuff, if anyone's watching and thinking, oh, let's do YouTube or whatever, or Twitch, you do have to kind of perform a little bit. Like you've got to move around a lot more and stuff like that.
It's almost the same with playing games on Twitch and stuff though. Like if you don't let yourself go into what you're doing, then it's less entertaining, isn't it? If you don't, I think me and Bobby said something about Shroud last week and saying that Shroud's so calm all the time, but that's just him. But we were saying he's so calm that sometimes it's not that fun. If he was to just jump up and go, woo, I just hit an ace on Valorant, because it's kind of a hard thing to do at his level as well, then people would be like loads more engaged. But we were saying that he's kind of just like, cool. Which kind of, I suppose, reels back to actually he has a calm reaction, which means it's different, which means it's unique. So,
it's one thing I noticed is that a lot of streamers, they shout. And I did have quite a few comments. Yeah. No, I find that your streams are pretty chill. Like some people are like, so today, guys, we're going to play Valorant.
Oh, yeah, that kind of, enthusiasm.
Whoa.
Yeah, sometimes it's fine. You should be kind of natural. But then I feel like if you want to rage, just rage. Don't hold it back because you're on camera. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think last week, I think I released a clip last week where it's proper like threw my controller on the floor, just went fuck the controller and then turned off the game. It was kind of funny. I'm actually going to look through your clips quickly, actually, because I think I saw one. Yesterday of right. I'm going to switch it over quickly to the live stream one here. This is this is you playing Fall Guys.
Faster, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh look, I'm wearing the same dress.
I need
That's
to
embarrassing.
of this, guys.
Yeah. Shit.
This one is horrible, I will admit. This part.
Yeah. Shit. What? No! How was I meant to escape that? My face. How was I meant to escape that? I just don't know what's happened. At the same time. I have no idea what's happened.
And but that's the beauty. That game, right? Isn't that game just so fun though?
It is so much fun.
But it's so rage-inducing. It's unbelievable. I've rage quit twice today. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. As well, you get like a few people cheating and stuff like that, which I absolutely hate. But it really does add to the entertainment of your stream.
Yeah.
And just like the entertainment experience in general,
Yeah.
Like I was playing that round where you're kind of on this really like long tube. And the parts are moving, and you've got to like move between the parts so you don't fall off the edge.
Yeah.
And someone bloody grabbed me and chucked me off the edge.
It does my head in. I think I was using some horrible language. But if you want to learn some slang language, guys, you was listening to some of my language when I was getting grabbed by people. I'm pretty sure there was like 10-year-olds playing, and I was calling them things you shouldn't call a 10-year-old. That's what I keep saying, and that's what I'm gonna stand by.
I would be really interested to know actually, like, what the age is of the people who play Fall Guys is, because I bet the average age is like you know, I would say early 30s or something like that. I think it's more adults that are playing it than
Yeah.
kids.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say, it's like it's a game intended for like 6 to 12-year-olds, but they've got 30-year-old professional gamers playing the game and raging about it. So, and I saw someone made a comment the other day saying, "Oh, you're so angry that you lost at a game." It was like, you know, not why are all these 12-year-olds on this 30-year-old person's game competitive?
Yeah. It's ours now. Like,
Yeah.
get off it.
But it is good, and I
Sometimes-
think they've really. I'll tell you what they've done really well. And if anyone wants to take note of any kind of socials or anything to do with like Twitter, their guy who runs their Twitter is amazing. And what they're doing, they are integrating. So I think they've seen what Valorant did. Valorant did a lot of stuff with the whole streaming community to promote their game. I think they've really hit the nail on the head because they've been roasting Tim the Tapman so much. And they've started on Dr. Lupo today, and they're massive streamers that are playing this game, and they're fun to watch. But it's giving them so much press and promo that they're trending, even on ESPN, all sorts, all around the world. So the guys are genius. Honestly, they're smart company, and I think that game's got good longevity because it's got such a party game aspect. I think it's going to be
definitely.
insane.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really nice if, like, every few months or something like that, they added new rounds.
I think they're going to do that. I think they'll do new seasons and they'll put new stuff in. They can do the like I said, the possibilities of the game are endless at the moment. They can do all sorts. So it's going to be fun. It's always going to be one that you can jump in and out of, I reckon. It could get boring quite quickly, I feel. But then if they keep the content fresh, then it's going to be good.
I found that, yeah, especially if you like, just keep losing. You know, I tend to find that I do quite well at the start when my mind's quite fresh. And then after a few tries, I just, you know, get more and more and more frustrated. And it's actually quite mentally exhausting, you know, because you're focusing so much on, like, trying not to die.
Yeah.
Or, you know, get pushed over the edge by your teammates or whatever. But yeah, it's a really fun game. Yeah, really, really fun. It's funny because a student of mine today was like, "Emma, I checked out." He's a private student of mine, so if he's listening to this or watching, then he'll know who he is. And he says, "Oh, Emma, I watched the replay of one of your streams, and you were just shouting. You were going crazy. What English are you teaching?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm probably not teaching that much English through Fall Guys, but people are in the chat and they really enjoy it. You know, they're asking questions, telling me to calm down.
It's
so
funny. It's good to
like,
interact, isn't it, with that sort of thing? So if someone's telling you to calm down, it's always fun, isn't it? It's always a funny thing.
Yeah, because you're like, "No, I don't want to calm down. I'm going to play this again."
Yeah. I hate this game. I'm never playing again. 2 minutes later, pick it back up. Right, okay, we're going again, guys. We need a crown. We can't be doing this.
We're not going to end the stream till we get a crowd.
So let's actually talk about your Twitch channel then. So because we've touched on YouTube, we've touched on all of that bits and stuff. So what sort of games are you sort of playing and using to teach, other than Fall Guys and teaching them how to swear and rage? What other things are you playing? So I saw you were playing like a story game, which I thought was a clever idea because you can really explain the language in that. I think it was American, wasn't it? So you could explain kind of like the difference between American and English slang too, which was also quite a nice touch as well. I thought you nailed it quite a bit there. You've done quite well everything that you do. But like,
I'm just winging it, really. I don't know.
What sort of games would you like to actually play? And what do you intend to play? Sorry, as well.
Yeah, because I mean, I've only just started, so like what I'm playing now is just the absolute like. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, it's not even a fraction of the kind of games that I'd like to play. Yeah. But I would like to focus on other story-based games. So I've got Beyond Two Souls that I want to play. Also, what's that other one? I've not got it yet, but there's another one. Detroit Becoming Human.
Right.
So like another kind of story-based game. I've got another one called something about Edith Finch. What is it? What Remains of Edith Finch? That's another story-based game. So I've been focusing on a lot more story-based games because people, if they want to join streams, you know, in the future, they've got something to kind of look forward to. You kind of leave them on a bit of a cliffhanger, like, ooh, you know, it's not just, ooh, what's Emma going to stream next? It's what's going to happen in that story.
It's almost like a watch-along TV show as well, like that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's quite popular actually. Apparently, like a lot of people like to do watch-along football, where someone will watch the match and they'll sit there on Twitch and they'll just have themselves streaming and they'll be like, oh, well, that was not offside, something like that. People are really into watching that right now. It's kind of like, it's a bit alien to me. I don't think I would want to do that. I don't think anyone would want to watch me watching football. You think I'm bad on Fall Guys, you watch me watch football. I mean, Jess will tell you 100%.
Yeah. But these reaction things are quite a big thing. I mean, like, you know, in the UK, I don't know how many of your viewers and stuff are based outside the UK, but there's a TV show in the UK. I think it's still on TV. I don't know. I don't actually have a telly anymore. But it's called Gogglebox.
Yeah, Gogglebox.
And I mean, that is just a reaction show.
That show is amazing.
People, you see, like, you're literally watching people react to TV shows and people love it. I just can't get it. I can't understand it. I've tried to watch clips. I've tried to understand it, but I'm like, I'm literally watching people watch TV. Like, that's what you're doing. But I mean, what you were just talking about then, you know, people watching people's reactions to football game is pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much. You're actually right. I quite like the celebrity ones of Gogglebox. I think they're good because you kind of have this idea of what these celebrities are like, and then you see them in their natural habitat, and you're like, well, they're actually all right. They're kind of like, you know, I thought this person was a bit snidey or something like that, but actually they're really funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy things. Yeah, being a fly on the wall, that's right. I think I was just about looking at chat because there's so many people. Hi guys, we are not ignoring you on purpose, I promise. We are, for the sake, because this is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, for the sake of like the actual YouTube, I'm trying not to interact so much with chat because it's going to ruin the flow of the conversation and stuff, even though I edit the things anyway. But I am kind of reading chat with you guys, and I appreciate everyone being here, and I'm sure Emma does too as well. It's great support tonight and we're loving it. But yeah, we'll try and do our best to entertain you by talking as well as trying to catch up with chat too. But I appreciate everyone being here. It's good, and I'm glad that the chat's popping off for everyone and everyone's getting some good stuff out of this.
I see that my Christmas mug has been noticed. I've got a chamomile tea.
Jess notices all things like that. She loves Christmas stuff. She loves ornaments.
Oh, Jess.
We've just rearranged our flat, so it's looking really lovely at the moment. The
Nice.
PC's in a new place, and we've got loads. And I don't know how many times I've been outside to take rubbish out and to take boxes out, but like Jess hasn't actually been out to take the rubbish, so I think the neighbours probably think I have killed her because they hear me shouting, "Die! Die, you bean!" and stuff like that to Fall Guys, and then she's not been outside much, and I've taken loads of bin bags out, so you never know what's going to happen. I love the police knocking on my door soon. Right, so so because we've got quite a few people here, I think we've got quite a few people who actually know you here as well, Emma. So let's talk about your hobbies outside of YouTube, Twitch, the content creation world, work, and everything. Let's talk about let's see what sort of TV shows do you watch, and what sort of music do you like? Let's go for that. So like, what have you watched anything good on Netflix lately? Or do you watch Netflix?
So I have Netflix, but it's weird because actually since March, you know, pretty much like since quarantine started, I haven't really been watching anything on Netflix.
Really?
I think probably the last thing I watched was like The Witcher. I think it was like the last thing I watched.
The Witcher was good though. What a program.
Was very good. It's weird because when we started, it was actually my boyfriend that wanted to start it, you know, because of all the hype. And I thought, oh no, yeah, I don't really want to start watching it. It doesn't look like my kind of thing. And then
they were asking in chat what
are you drinking?
Monday? Yeah, it's White Claw, guys. It's hard seltzer.
It was like knockoff Stella.
So knockoff Stella. But yeah, so yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I thought, no, I don't really want to start watching this. It doesn't look very good. My boyfriend was like, no, let's start watching it. And I managed to get into it after like 2 or 3 episodes, which is actually quite late, you know, because episodes are quite long.
They are.
But I really enjoyed it. I think there's going to be another season, isn't there? There's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think they've got loads and loads planned. I think Henry Cavill's in for the long run as well. So
yeah, until like retirement.
Yeah, probably.
He's really good. I didn't realize that he played Superman.
Yeah.
I remember saying to my boyfriend, like, God, that guy's like so good looking. Who is he? I need to find out who he is.
Ah.
And yeah, my boyfriend was like, oh, that's Superman? I was like, no.
He's a good guy. He's a massive nerd as well. Any of my WoW boys in chat will know that he's a massive World of Warcraft player as well. And he just I think during quarantine he actually built himself a really nice PC and he filmed himself doing it. I think it was shirtless or something. So he gave a little bit for everyone.
I didn't see the shirtless one.
I don't know if he was shirtless. I think he just had his muscles are out because they can't help but being out. I mean, look at the way he's trained to be the Witcher. He's pretty buff.
It's Superman, isn't he? I mean, look at him. Like, it's... so that was the last thing I watched. And then, talking about hobbies and stuff in general, I really like learning different languages. I'm a bit weird because I won't learn languages until I'm like fluent in the language. I'll learn like a little bit. And then I get bored and then I move on. Like, I like to call myself a language whore. I kind of like, mess around with the language for a bit and move on. I get bored of it, move on to the next one.
Language player.
Yeah. So I've started recently learning Japanese, just for fun, really, as people normally do with Japanese. And I thought, you know what can I do to work on my Japanese and improve it, because I need to like expose myself to it. I need input, as we say in the teaching community. And everyone was like, anime? Why aren't you watching anime?
I know a lot of people actually who learn Japanese through watching anime, and obviously they get hardcore. Yeah. I mean, when you've got hardcore anime watchers, they're like, you gotta watch it subbed or non-subbed with Japanese and understand it. You can't watch the dub versions. Like, if I was to ever watch any anime, I'd be watching it with dubs on because I'm not gonna read it and listen to the. I think the Japanese, the voices would distract me so much. Although I might be able to do subtitles, but I don't think I could learn from watching the actual show. I get a bit distracted sometimes when I'm doing things. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, to be honest.
No, but I'm the same as well.
From my intro today.
Like my attention span is really short. I don't know if it's from like, playing video games and stuff like that and wanting like, I need to, get to the end as fast as possible or whatever. And
fast food generation we live in now, isn't it? Everything's instant gratification, so it's our minds are actually now set on a timer to, if it's not instant or fast, we gotta move them. We got other stuff to do because you can access the whole world from your hand, the palm of your hand, in your phone, right? There is no time. Exactly. There is no time for waiting about anymore. Yeah.
No, exactly. We want everything now. But I started watching some anime, and I've not gone like hardcore into it. I've basically just been watching a couple of episodes here and there. I started watching this one series. It was when it comes up at the top and it's like recommended for you. I'm like, how? I've never watched bloody anime in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that came up, and it was called something like Tokyo Sinks.
That's a great comment in chat. Watching Wheel of Fortune, improving my English. That's one of the best. That's one of the best ways I've ever seen to learn the English language. I'm going to watch Wheel of Fortune. Honestly, a good English game show, you'll love it. Every single English game show is so fun. You watch Countdown next, Moody.
I was just about to say that's.
Or 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, because then you've got the humour as well.
That's it. My boyfriend and I watch 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, and it's so funny. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good at like all the all like the puzzles and stuff that they have to do.
They're so funny. It's Joe. What's his name? That one who's like looks like he's homeless. He kills me. The one who comes on, he's drinking beers and stuff all the time. He brings a bear on sometimes as well. I can't remember his name. Joe
something?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But I think there are two main guys on there. Sean Locke, isn't it? Sean Locke creases me up. He's so funny. He says some random stuff and I absolutely love it. But it's when you've got people like Johnny Vegas on there who are obviously quite clearly not the best at English, and then they just make you laugh. I've spelt a 3-letter word, pie.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff, and it's really funny.
See, that's kind of like the level that me and my boyfriend are at. Like, even though I'm an English teacher, I'm so bad at these kind of games because the time pressure gets to me. Even though like I'm not even on the game show, like the time pressure really gets to me. I'm not like one of these people who watches, what's it called? Like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's so obviously that one. Oh, why aren't you choosing that one? And when you're sitting at home, calm and everything, like you can choose. But then as soon as you're there, you just go blank. I'm not like that. Like I'm sitting at home like anxious for them.
I love game shows. Honestly, I've always thought I'll be really good at going on like Pointless. I'm so good at Pointless. But I know if I'm on there, I'll probably be like, and then make a stupid decision and be like, fuck. Yeah. That's just me though. I'll rage at anything.
Well, you remember there was one where it was like they started off with £1 million. Do you remember this?
Chris Tarrant, £1 million drop?
Maybe it was that one. Yeah, they started off
They
with
put the
like,
money on the things and then it falls down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that one. God, that was intense. I used to hate that one.
Yeah, that
and
was
then sitting
intense.
there waiting, and then it's like, now we're gonna go to a break, and you're like, fuck, no, I wanted to know. But that was.
I'm just gonna wave to Joel, by the way, because he's begging me to wave to him.
Oh. It's definitely live.
I tell you, there is one game show, right, what was it called? It had 5 gold rings. Was it 5 gold rings? Someone confirmed that in chat. Was it Philip Schofield? Oh, my memory's going blank. But there was an app, right, and you could play along at home with the contestants, and you had to they had to place a ring on a certain point on like a massive digital pictured floor. Is it called 5 gold rings?
I have no idea. I've never heard of that.
So they had an app, and it would get smaller and it would get harder each game. And then they had like play along at home, and you could get the points. And then at the halftime points, it would say who's the top points of the country. And I was smashing it for the first like 3 out of 4 before the break, and then I fucked up the last one. And then I felt like I would have been top if I'd got it quicker, and I would have been on the telly saying, "Dan is top of the thing." I was raging so hard, and then I just deleted the app. My blood pressure was going too high with that. I've never experienced like that. That was hard tilt every week, every Saturday afternoon. It was hard tilt, and I could not stop myself.
I've never even heard of this TV show. I'm actually just looking at it now on Google. It is called 5 Gold Rings.
Is it Scoffers as well? Is it Scoffers?
Yeah. It's him.
Obviously, he made it worse because he was so like. If I was on that show and getting things wrong, he would tilt me even more because he's so sarcastic about it as well. He's just like, I love. By the way, I love Philip Schofield. He's amazing. Him and Holly, Willoughby, everything. I love them guys. But I know that he would tilt me with his smugness on the TV as well. I'm sat there fuming because I've just messed up on the app and I don't want to play it, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to keep going. And then I swear there's like lag and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. That's such a good idea. Like
it was clever. It was really fun as well.
It's really interactive, isn't it? Really clever.
Yeah.
Supermarket Sweep, someone's also mentioned.
Yeah, Supermarket Sweep was dope.
That was intense. Oh my god. Like I remember watching that as a kid. They
never played dirty though, did they? They never like rammed someone else with a trolley, run them over, kick them in the shins, trip them up.
See,
I guess it wasn't the rules, right?
Yeah. I bet that would happen now. But back then it was very like clean. It was TV. I think all these game shows and stuff.
TV was clean, but the presenters weren't.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Looking at Michael Barrymore here, guys.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So right, okay, I'm gonna ask you one final question now, and this is gonna be like this is like the big money question. So I asked Bobby last week, what advice would he give for streaming? But I'm actually gonna flip that to you, and I'm gonna say that so given there's gonna be a lot of Twitch streamers in the chat probably, and streamers in a similar kind of level to what I suppose I'm at myself. I know that doing YouTube is probably the best way to direct traffic to your stream because YouTube's the way to grow, I think, personally, and obviously on other socials as well. But let's go for what tip would you give for someone starting YouTube? What would be your top like 3 things that you have to do to start making YouTube like progress? If I think that's probably the best word to say, isn't it?
Like what? One of my 3 top tips.
Yeah. What tips? Just give like what tips would you give for someone who wants to start YouTube and start getting into it to promote? Not necessarily maybe if they don't want to promote their Twitch or just just for a start, sort of a starting tip to get on the YouTube front foot. Best thing to say, I think.
So the first thing is don't overthink things.
Yeah, it's your channel. That's right. It's as you said in the chat. Yeah, your channel's pretty successful. I mean, 80,000 subscribers, right? It's pretty good, guys. Let's have some claps for that.
Yeah, and it's growing really quickly. I don't know
it's doing so
what
well.
the fuck's happened in like
Sorry to
the
interrupt,
last, no, it's all right. But I don't know what's happened in like the last month or so, but it's just like snowballing, and this tends to happen. It does start to snowball. You'll find this when you start your channel, and I said this to you as well. Like you'll get to around so you need to understand that getting to your first 1,000 subscribers is like the most hardest. That's not good grammar. It is the hardest.
An English teacher, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go delete my channel because clearly I can't stream.
Abort. I'll just turn the stream off quickly, guys. Sorry. I think we lagged. What did you say? It was.
Sorry, there was a problem with my mic then.
No,
I said it was the hardest thing to do. So yeah, I mean, getting started is the hardest thing. Like, what happens is people overthink and overthink and overthink, and this is what happened with me. So I started, let's say, the entire online journey in October 2017. I didn't start doing YouTube until like March 2018. So what's that? That's, you know, like 4, 5, nearly 6 months of
Yeah.
of just doing nothing, you know. And it really bugs me because in those months I could have sorry, my boyfriend's in the background now. You just want to be on
Cameo.
Yeah, he's just looking at me now like really scared. He hates being like online. He's like the opposite of me. I'm such an attention whore, and he's like, no, I don't want any pictures of myself on video. It's so funny. But yeah, getting started, I found it really hard to get started. So don't overthink things, because a lot of people are comparing themselves to other people. You know, they look at, for example, like Ninja's videos, and he's got an editor, he's got a team, everything's really polished. So
yeah.
You can't compare your first videos to someone else's 100th video, because I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound really mean, but it's really true. Your first few videos are going to be utter shit. Like, they're really, really going to be shit, because what's going to happen is you're going to improve, right? So of course your first few videos are shit. You're not going to recognize that at the time, right? When you first start, you're going to think, yeah, this video is like fucking great. This is so good. I absolutely love, you know, what I've done here. Best editing I've ever done. You know, just picked up some tips on YouTube. Never edited before, but, you know, we're going with it. You put your video out into the world, you get 10 views. Great, right?
Yeah.
You know, give it a little bit of time, and you know, you will start to improve. You'll get better at editing. Maybe you'll even hire an editor to do it for you. You will become more confident on camera.
Yep.
If anyone looks at my YouTube channel, please look at my very first video. It's fucking cringe as hell. It's so bad. It's about the pronunciation of bear, beer, bird, and beard, because a lot of learners confuse those. And it's just so cringy. I've really wanted to delete it, but so many people love it. You know, it's like,
do you like my bird?
The video they remember, you know.
Do you like my beard?
Yeah. Actually, you know, like, I kind of photoshopped a beard on me, like, in parts of the video.
I love that.
So yeah, it's just so cringe.
Hardly like, huh?
Yeah.
Tongue twister said it so quickly. Was it beer, bird, beard?
Bear, beer, bird, beard. Yeah. So a lot of people confuse those 4 words. Like
that sounds like a night out, doesn't it?
Like the 4 stages of a night out.
Yeah. Starting with the bear, bloody hell.
Yeah. Or do you end with the bear? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Oh.
Yeah,
the English language, that's what we got to say. Give it up for that.
Yeah. And yeah, I do still have my very first video, and you know, it is still on there. The bear, beer, bird, beard video, that's still there. I think another one was like the difference between e and it, and I talked about, like, you know, sheet and shit and stuff like that. I'm just so bad. Like, the camera's like too close to my face. The editing is really bad. It's really awkward. It's terrible. But please watch them, and then watch the videos that I do now, and you'll see the difference. Hopefully the videos that I make now are better. So that's the first
please.
tip. Like, yeah.
Nah, I preferred your old ones, to be honest. Imagine that. That would be the best comment right now. See that Evan in chat likes to say a beard and bear always happens. So it's good to see there is confirmation. Man. It was a handy video, obviously. How many views does that have now? Like, just out of interest, like, is that like over time, has it progressed so much, or?
I really don't know. Let's have a look, actually.
Because my first video's got like 300 views now, and I've kept it on there just because it's kind of like a memento of my first ever video uploaded on to YouTube.
Keep it.
And I'm going to keep it there because, like, the thumbnail's awful. It's really clickbaity as well. And FYI, guys, by the way, it was with the Origin shotgun, which I dubbed the Danimal. And then suddenly Nick Merckx and everyone started using it about a month or 2 later. So I'm just gonna throw that one over there. There was one other thing that you said to me about that's really important with YouTubing as well, and that was SEO, right?
super important. Oh my god, that should have been like my number one. No,
Right.
no, no. I'm gonna stick my number one. My number one is gonna stay as just get started, right? Because you've got to get started in order to learn these things,
Yeah.
right?
I wholeheartedly agree with that as well. Just guys, if you don't feel ready to do YouTube stuff, I don't feel ready still. But I've just started slipping into my own kind of like style of editing. If you guys want to watch my last video on my YouTube, I think the link's below. Where I just it's taken from, so this podcast on Friday I cut into two pieces where I'm just chatting, and then I do my streamer source that I'm talking, like where I'm talking to Emma today. Last week I talked to Bobby. I cut it up into two sections, and I upload the just chatting as what's called Danimal Talks. It's kind of a new format for me this week that I've just uploaded. But I much prefer doing that, and I've changed my editing style and everything with the video, and I actually preferred that to the ones that I was doing prior. So I'm keeping those as well. So if you wanted to come and contrast the two and tell me which one you look better, then yeah, it's absolutely great. But yeah, so it's like SEO was the one thing that you taught me that was really, really important.
100%, because you could have like the best video ever. You know, imagine you do a video about I don't know, how to start a Twitch channel. Okay, you put so much effort into it, and it's such a good video, but then no one can find it.
Yeah.
And YouTube is based on SEO. So my second tip is really do your research into the someone's asked what SEO is.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a second. Really research about how SEO works on YouTube. I mean, I can kind of go through that a little bit here, but I don't want to, hoggy podcast.
No, go for it. Like we're rolling. It's good. It's a nice.
All right, okay. So yeah, I'll start with like, what is SEO? So SEO stands for search engine optimization. When, for example, you type something on Google, you get, certain websites. Let's imagine you type, I don't know, something about The Witcher, okay? You're going to get everything related to The Witcher because, Google is crawling the internet and it's trying to find things related to The Witcher, okay? YouTube is owned by Google, and it works in the same way. So when, for example, like today, I'll use a real life example. I made a video about how to pronounce the difference between L and R, which is quite difficult for like Japanese, Chinese, Thai speakers. So I'm not just going to put my video out there. I'm going to do a little bit of research on what things people are searching in order to find videos about the L and R. Because I want people to search, for example, how to pronounce L and R. And then I want them to find my video, right?
Yeah.
So how is that going to happen? I need to make sure that my subtitles are done really well. I've been quite lazy with subtitles recently. I need to go through and do them. But your subtitles are SEO'd. Your title of your video is SEO'd. Your description is SEO'd. So make sure that you've got keywords in there. So for example, in my title, of course, it would be something like how to pronounce L and R, and then in the description, do not keyword stuff, because YouTube actually penalizes you for keyword stuffing. What is keyword stuffing? That's basically when you sit and you just, are you taking notes, Dan? Yeah. It's just when you sit and you write, for example, like how to pronounce L and R pronunciation, L and R Chinese pronunciation, and you just bam, use all these keywords.
Yeah, I keep my description very, very simple. Now, and I just kind of, I don't really write much. I just copy and paste the same thing pretty much, which just has all my socials on and that, and it'll have a brief description of what the video is, and then that's it. It's the tags, isn't it? The really, the keyword tags, which really pump it in.
The tags are important as well. I would say that, so long as like your tags, let's imagine you want to rank for the keyword L and R pronunciation. You've got to make sure that you're saying that in your video, somewhere at the beginning, preferably. Make sure it's in your title, make sure it's in your description, and make sure it's in your tags, because then you're bound to rank higher. Okay. When you first start your channel, you're probably going to think, hold on, but I followed Emma's advice and the advice of other people. Why isn't my video ranking? Well, you need to also make sure you're watching out for watch time, because in the past, what happened is that videos used to rank in accordance to views. So the more views a video had, the higher it ranked. But nowadays, it doesn't work like that, because people use clickbait, right? And a view on YouTube, I think, is after 3 seconds, something like that, 5 seconds. I can't remember exactly, but it's only a few seconds. So it goes by watch time. What you'll find now, though, is that people are making longer videos. So people are making longer videos in order to generate watch time. That's quite good when you're first starting, because it means that you can generate that watch time and you can hopefully rank a little bit higher. So yeah, that's my advice with that one. I see that the chat's gone really quiet. I don't know if it's
No, I think they're listening. I actually think they're listening. 100% think they're listening.
Yeah, Jessica's like, I'm learning lots. That's good. So yeah, what else? I mean, like your thumbnails are super important. My thumbnails were like absolute crap when I first started. I just used Canva. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Canva, but I used that when I first started. Then I got Photoshop, and now I'm using that, so they look a little bit more professionally done. You don't need Photoshop, but just make sure you're doing a little bit of research into thumbnails, because your thumbnails and your title are the most important things. You need to make sure that it's clear on mobile phones. You know, I use a very tiny an iPhone SE, so you need to make sure that people with tiny smartphones like mine can see your thumbnail clearly. Make sure that you're not repeating thumbnails. Dan, I've noticed that your thumbnails are very similar. You need to change some colors.
No, I was saying that as you said that, I think actually you're right. Mine's probably too small to read, so I probably need to start like changing that. I think maybe like a 50/50 split would be a better thing to do than like the tiny little box that I've got down the bottom.
Yeah, research into color theory and stuff as well, because they found that thumbnails with red bars at the side, for some weird reason, work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everyone needs to go and put like red bars in their thumbnails, because that's gonna look
I see a lot of
weird.
people actually have red writing as well, which is kind of like a big thing. Because if you guys go check out Nick Merckx's YouTube, I think all of his titles and stuff that are pictures of him and Warzone, because he does a lot of Warzone videos, but actually like the titles are banged in there in a big red box. So that proves the theory, and his YouTube bangs obviously, but he's a massive streamer, so and he's a great guy, and he's a great Warzone player, so he's Yeah, I say with big red writing beneath my cam. This is good. This is all punchy. I should know this kind of stuff because I did web design, but I obviously didn't really listen.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you know like about color theory and placement and stuff like that, definitely have a look into that. So
I have, like I said, I have actually thought about changing my thumbnails. I've just been quite lazy, like Maka has said in the chat, with doing it. But that is something that I have thought about doing. I've looked into changing. I just haven't done it. I've got so much on my to-do list. I mean, this is okay. We'll go through this like last sort of thing. I bet you're the same. You feel, because I'm going down like a massive content creation route, and I've always got plans for my stream and plans to put stuff out everywhere. Your list is obviously endless, right? As well. Do you sit there and think, right, let's gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do that?
It's never ending. And then like as soon as you've done something, it's like, but now I've got to do this. And it's almost like you've got this list of 100 things. You do one and like something else just appears at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't end.
I'm always tweaking, I'm always changing. It's like, especially with stream, there's things today that I wanted to tweak and change, but I was like, no, I need to get on and do other stuff, and I need to relax a little bit. I had a bubble bath. Like I don't care what anyone says. I had a nice bubble bath. I had a bit of a headache. I had some sinus issues today, so I wanted to clear the congestion. We had a bit of a faff with a new aerial we just bought for the TV. Things were going against me, so I just didn't decide to do those little bits, which I'll leave for the weekend now after I've done other tidying and cleaning that we still got left to do, moving the flat around. So anyway, Macca's got a question. I know he asked it before, and he thinks we skirted over it, but I was leaving questions till the end.
Right, I've still got through my third point as well.
Yeah, and we've still got the third point to go. So let's go for the third point, and then let's ask this last question, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah. I don't want to keep you all evening, to be honest, because it's been such a lively, good chat. Everyone's tuning in. I feel like everyone's really listening as well and learning a lot. So.
Yeah, no, it's good. And something I want to mention as well, if anyone ever wants to get in touch, like they have any other questions, they may be watching the replay of this, watching the YouTube video or something like that, or the podcast, whatever, and you've got some questions, like please feel free to just send me a DM or an email or something like that. I'll be really happy to help out. So yeah, the third one I would say is don't look at numbers and don't look at your numbers and don't worry about your analytics. So what tends to happen is, people create this amazing video. It's their first video. They think, oh my God, this video is so shit hot. I'm going to become famous overnight. They post it at night. They wake up in the morning. You've got 3 views. One's your wife, one's your mum, and one's your dog, right? And, there's probably a 4th one, and that's probably you.
The dog's the one that matters as well, to be honest.
Yeah. And then you've probably got like your first hate comment already saying this video is shit. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind if people want to put that on comments, or no, comments are comment in it. Views are view and the comments are comment.
Oh, it's all engagement.
It's all engagement.
Right? And it will only boost your channel. This is why I tell haters, like, if you really hate my channel, don't dislike my videos. Sorry if you can hear my boyfriend clicking, by the way. I started gaming. I'm cutting into essential gaming time. All right.
It's a lot of gaming time, right? I completely understand that. It's fine.
Well, you can tell that we're like a gamer couple, It's like gaming away, bless him. Oh. So yes, don't worry so much about like your numbers and things like that. I just read the hate comment.
You didn't fucking feed me on time. Let me out. You never let me out when I want to go. All I want to do is look outside, sniff the air, and come back in. You're so cruel. You have such a shit life.
The poor dog.
You leave me at home all day. All I've got to do is sleep and rest. Feed me.
That'd be quite funny if someone like created, a kind of troll account, just
like
kind of did that on people's videos. Exactly. 2 minutes filming instead of bloody walking me.
Why aren't you filming me?
Yeah, why are you filming me instead of feeding me? So going back to the 3rd point, don't worry so much, because as I said, you'll post a video online, you wake up, you got 4 views, a hate comment or whatever if you're lucky, and that's it.
If you're lucky.
And you kind of think, whoa, what did I do wrong? I used Emma's amazing SEO tips. I even DM'd her for more tips, but my video is like still not at the top. What do I do? This is going to happen. Like YouTube, with YouTube, you won't get famous overnight. It will take you a good few years to get noticed, and you need to make sure that you're using other social media platforms to direct traffic there. So, for example, Twitter. I would say that Twitter's probably the easiest one. Twitter is also SEO-able, not a word, but anyway.
Coin it.
Yep, coined it. It's SEO-able. So that means that if people are searching, let's say, how to pronounce letter, bam, people are going to find your tweet about that, and then they're going to see your video for your YouTube channel, bam, they're going to go subscribe, hopefully. Yeah. So make sure that you're directing traffic outside, but also make sure you're really, really focusing on SEO. But I cannot stress how important it is to have other social media as well. Yeah. The more social media platforms you're on, the better, because it means that you can reach different audiences. I'm on like pretty much every single social media platform. I am a 1-woman team, so for anyone thinking, oh my god, how does she do that? Does she even have a job?
It takes a lot of time. I mean, I'm just dabbling at the moment, guys, and I feel like a lot of my free time I'm spent thinking and doing stuff for stream. And the same, just to mention that pop, guys, by the way, that Emma just did was like, it was like you had a soundboard and you just went and did it. That it sounded incredible. And secondly, like these points that point especially you've given for YouTube is exactly the same for Twitch as well, guys. Like no one's going to grow on Twitch just by streaming on Twitch, right? You're going to have to do exactly the same things as you want to do for, I mean, excuse the SEO stuff, because you can't really SEO Twitch, but you can SEO everything else to direct you towards Twitch, and that's what you're trying to do. Direct your traffic? I told you, I'm turning into Jonathan Ross. I'm getting so good at this, I'm turning into Jonathan Ross, guys. You direct your traffic to your stream, and that's the way to do it. So like that point is a massive point. Get big on all your socials. I track my growth on all of my socials. Like that's something that I do, like my Instagram, I've actually got a second Instagram account now that I've set up for going live, because I thought that was quite a good idea. I had an inactive account. I thought I've got one for posting go live pictures, because then it's just going to be dedicated just to that. I've got my actual Instagram, which I put my clips on. I've got TikTok, which I put clips on. YouTube, which I upload loads of stuff onto YouTube. And then I've got my stream and Twitter, obviously. And you're so right about that. And it's the same with YouTube, I suppose. It's the same with stream. Like promoting it all together. And the thing is that it all becomes one big thing anyway. So you kind of have to look at it that you want to be a content. You can't just be a streamer anymore. You're just a content Like that's I think that's the best way to say it.
It.
Anyone who's having any idea of trying to get like a big community and a big following, you have to become a content creator rather than just a streamer. You can't just become a streamer.
Yeah. Yeah, Jess is asking, how do you manage it all? Yeah, as I said, I'm a one-woman team. I've only very recently started hiring an editor to help me with my YouTube videos, and that's only the YouTube videos that she helps me with. She's really, really good, really quick, like meets her deadline. She's brilliant. So I use scheduling apps and things like that. So you can get something like Hootsuite or Later. I personally use Later. I really liked the look and feel of that one when I tried it out, so I use that one. So I recommend getting something like that. And what you can do is kind of do what I do and just batch make. You know, just spend one day, like, you know, a Saturday morning, batch make all your content, cut down all your videos or whatever. Schedule it for the month, and then you don't need to touch your social media for a month because everything will post automatically. Like Later is like £7 a month, you know, and you may think, oh, £7, but it's £7 nothing actually if you think about how much time you would spend.
If you've got a lot more going on, then it's really helpful. I mean, like I've been quite self-sustaining with my content, as now I'm kind of I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, because I'm using this Friday stream that I do, and I've dedicated my Friday stream to doing kind of this podcast talk show, and it covers both the two of the videos that I actually want to upload. So it covers my IRL sort of just chatting section that I wanted to upload, and it does my podcast as well. And then all I have to do is really think about is actually working on my stream highlights. So I've been kind of annoyed with that because it's kind of easy for me because I just have to chop it up. It doesn't take too long now. Before though, when I was recording stuff, like I said, it takes like an hour to do, and I've got so many outtakes where I'm just sat there like, so guys, do you want to fucking asshole and stuff like that. That's just generally it.
But that's really good that you're repurposing content, because I do that as well. So, for example, if I post a video on YouTube, I'll give it a little bit of time and then I'll go and post it on, you know, my other social media. So I'll always post it on YouTube first to, you know, hopefully get a few views there. And then I'll go and post. So what you could do is post the full video and, you know, just let it go into the internet. Yeah. Or you could just post kind of half of it with a kind of, you know, ending that says, if you want to watch the rest of this, go check out my YouTube channel. Here's the link, da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
And that helps direct traffic because people are like, ooh, you know, I want to see the rest of this video. Let's go and have a look. But yeah, I mean, if you listen to a lot of Gary Vee and all of these other people, I mean, Gary Vee has a whole bloody like office. He doesn't even have a team. He's got a building, you know, working for him and doing all the social media. But, you know, he repurposes content. He takes his videos and he makes them into podcasts. He clips them down. He then puts them on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube.
Which is a little what I'm going for. This is the kind of style that I'm going for. I'm a much better live performer. I'm not like when it comes to stuff like being in school, I was always very much like, I'll do it on the night. I'll do it on the exam. I'll just do what I need to do on the exam. Right now, I'm not that bothered. And then I'll go through and I'll do it on the exam and I'll be fine. And I'm a performer. I don't think about things too much before doing them, which is why this kind of content's perfect. I prefer to be in the live stream. I prefer to make my content bang into the live stream situation because I feel more natural myself, and my channel ethos is kind of built on my authenticity because, like, I mean, that's just me, isn't it? And then, like I said, Jess is the complete polar opposite. This is why we work together, because she worries and worries and worries and worries and thinks and thinks and thinks and thinks, and I'm just like, nah, let's do it, let's go. And I'm the one who makes the best decision. I'm the decision maker because I can make the decisions quickly, whereas Jess has to think about them for like 6 years before it happens.
She's the thinker, that's it.
But it helps because she stops me from rushing. That's the thing. I on the flip side of the things where I'm a quick decision maker and a quick to act, and I prefer to do things in the moment, it does also make me rush things when I'm doing them, and it ends up for, like, I don't know. Well, I'm not allowed to wash up anymore because I drop plates and I drop glasses because I'm rushing to clean them so I can get off and do whatever else, and 100 other things I want to do.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Right, so we've got one more question. We're going to go through one more question. It's Macca's one that he's posted twice. He's redeemed 2 loads of channel points for it, and he said to you, do you prefer streaming or do you prefer doing your YouTube content creation? Yeah, I have a million.
They have pros and cons to each one. I would say that I prefer going live because I really like interacting with my audience a lot. Yeah. You know, the kinds of people that follow me on YouTube are very different to the kind of people that follow me on Twitch. So it's a really nice vibe change. And I quite like that. But when it comes to YouTube, you can literally just, make the video, and you could be, in town or whatever, and your video just automatically posts, and you're racking up those views and hopefully the monetization.
Yeah.
And becoming, famous and rich or whatever on YouTube. That's also another tip, is don't start YouTube to try and get rich, because you really won't. Like, after Adpocalypse, the ad revenue just went absolutely down. So
YouTube's purely promotion for me. That's what I'm using it as. I'm not bothered by whatever monetization comes from. I mean, right now, this is very much, I have a full-time job outside of streaming and doing stuff. I feel like I've got a full-time job with the streaming right now, and it's only ever going to get worse. But I'm not thinking about, like I said, I'm not thinking about the analytics, I'm not thinking about the numbers, I'm not thinking about the monetization or anything. I'm just purely thinking about keeping what I've always wanted to do as, anyway, but as a hobby right now. I'm treating it more, it's weird to say, I'm treating it more than a hobby. I'm treating it like an extreme hobby, that if it one day paid off, then I would be the happiest I'd ever be with the career path that I'd chosen. But if it doesn't work out and I just do it for a small audience, and even if I had just these guys here and I'm chilling with them for years to come, that would make me still happy, because I'm doing a hobby that I enjoy. And I think that's, happiness is key, and it keeps me happy. It gives me something to do. And I think that's it. That's it. It's just that, if the pipe dream, let's just face it, we all want to have the dream that it does blow up and work. You'd be silly not to say that if someone come along and go, hey, do you want to be a YouTube millionaire, or are you happy just keeping it as a hobby? Obviously, you're going to go, well, I'll be a YouTube millionaire. Thank you very much. But right now, I don't think about those kind of things. I just think about how I can improve, keep releasing content, and mostly, and this is my biggest tip for everyone, keep having fun, guys. Always have fun. No matter what you do, have fun. If you ever start not feeling fun, make it fun. If you can't make it fun, then chill. And maybe it's not for you to do stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's a good place to leave it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's a good...
But yeah, I mean, if as I mentioned before, if anyone else does have any questions, I mean, including you, Dan, if you think later, bugger, I forgot to ask Emma about that, then feel free to, because I'm really transparent about this. You do come across some people who are super shady on YouTube, and it's like, oh, I want all the followers for myself, and all the subscribers for me, and I don't really understand that, because everyone can subscribe to whoever, not everyone just has to subscribe to you. So yeah, if you have any other questions and stuff, feel free. I think I covered the majority of them. One thing I do want to add is a final thing. You mentioned stuff about don't care about numbers, just focus on being happy, having fun. If you really, really do care about numbers and analytics, and you really, really want to analyze something, don't analyze your follows, don't analyze your subs. When it comes to YouTube, I mean, analyze your watch time.
Yeah, so I say watch time's a big thing.
If you go into your analytics, you'll see a kind of chart that looks like this, and it will show the kind of point where people start dropping off your video, and that's absolutely crucial. Out of all the things, let me speak. Your number of subscribers is the least important thing. The absolute least important thing. The most important thing is making sure that people are actually watching your video. And if you see that you've made a video and people are dropping off after 5 seconds, then maybe your intro's too long or your intro's boring. So you've got to change your intro, because if you're going to keep using the same intro in every video, people aren't going to even watch your future videos, right? If you're using the same shit intro. So make sure you're paying attention to the watch time analytics and see where people start dropping off. You will see a natural decline. So, mine tend to hover around, of course, they start at 100%, and they start to hover around sort of 50%, 60%, and then it goes right down once they've finished, watching all the explanations and all of that stuff. So it's normal to have a decline. So if you're going to pay attention to any analytics, watch that, because that's the thing that's going to help you the most. Don't focus on anything else, just that. And
exactly. Yeah. That's funny. It's funny that Jess said it's been really interesting. She's not supposed to be getting on with stuff tonight. I know she sat in the other room probably with her iPad out. I sat there with her chilling, and she's probably just been so distracted. We've done a lot over the past week, I'm not going to lie, so you can just sit down and chill. It's probably been quite nice for you. But guys, like, thanks for tuning in with Emma there. If you want to engage with Emma some more, you want to talk, don't flood the DMs completely. I know there's quite a few people, don't go crazy. I'd say, like, I know she said come across really lovely, and she said I will answer all the questions, but you know, don't be mad if she doesn't get around to answering questions straight away. Just say, because there's like 20 odd people in here. If like everyone messages you now, you're going to be flooded with DMs all night. So, you know, if you do have a genuine question, you know, just ask it, and she will obviously get back to you. But yeah, how good has this been, guys? Let's have some of the hearts in the chat for Emma. If you've got enough points now for the Danimal heart, spam that. If not, just spam some regular hearts. It's absolutely fine. And do stick around tonight, guys. If you've enjoyed Emma's content, please follow her. Please follow her on, subscribe to her on YouTube as well. Check out her stuff. Even if you know the English language, it's still good research for if you want to learn how to do great YouTube videos, because her videos are very, very professional and they're very, very, very good. I know I sold it short at the beginning of the stream where I said they're good. But, guys, so what we're going to do now, if you guys want to stick around in the stream, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go find someone who's got perhaps maybe 4 or 5 viewers, and we're going to do a little bit of trolling, but good trolling. I'm going to say progressively good trolling. And I want to just like play with someone on Twitch a little bit, and then we're going to give them some love, and we'll give them a big raid, and we'll raid over with all these people, and we'll give them some love for what they're doing. Okay, so give it up for Emma, guys.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.